Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the CD Racoola Show. Strap in for today's show because this review is going to be killing it. Because today we are reviewing the 2021 film Halloween Kills. So this is the second film in the new trilogy, and if you will recall, after the first film, they left him to supposedly die in the burning house. Well, guess what? He got out! The house that he was left in belonged, of course, to Laurie Strode, whom had spent much of her life prepping not only herself and her home with little traps and such to fight against the possible threat of Michael Myers, but it also prepped her own daughter, Karen Nelson, to fight the monster. Can I just say, the scene where he has what I learned is called a Halligan bar, which is basically a nasty-looking tool firemen use to bash, pull, and stab their way through burning debris, which is exactly what Michael Myers used it for, except he used it to bash, pull, and stab his way through all the poor firefighters in the front yard. It was a pretty sweet scene, you have to see it, and probably got all you action guys out there, all hot and bothered. Got all you cool dude action bros thinking Mikey Myers was like John Wick or something. I will say this, his mask in that scene was hot fire. This is where I wait for you to laugh. No, okay, I'll move on then. But seriously, I thought he looked totes radical with the fire in the background. In his mask, looked sweet, slightly burned. It looked really cool. Cool guys don't look at explosions, and Michael Myers is definitely one cool guy. I kind of thought that half-burned mask, it looked like if you've ever made marshmallows, for s'mores by the campfire, and you just get it just slightly burnt to make the perfect s'more, unless you're one of those weirdos who likes to burn your marshmallow to a black little crisp, similar to what I would look like if I was ever exposed to any serious amounts of sunlight. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys know this or not. Us vampies do in fact turn into black sizzling balls of goo if we get any sunlight on us. And yes, it stinks, but not like death. Surprisingly more like a mix of burnt tires and an overflowing porta potty that has been left in the hot sun for too long. Anywho, let's get that out of our head and let's get on with the film. The second film in the trilogy was directed by David Gordon Green. Actually, he directed all of the most recent Halloween films, including the first film, the 2018 film, and the third and final film, the 2022 Halloween Ends, of which I'm planning on doing a little review for you guys if you want to check that out. I did not, however, review the 2018 film, though I did like it, but not near as much as I did this Halloween Kills film. I don't know why I didn't do a review of the 2018 film. Actually, admittedly, I do kind of know why I didn't do it. I'm a lazy little vampy, and would rather spend my days drinking blood, reading horror novels for funsies, and taking some good old-fashioned daytime siestas instead of grinding through another review for your pleasure. Maybe I will later on down the road, but, we'll see what I do in the next couple thousand years or so. though. I'm sure I'll get to it, don't worry about that. Of the three films, this was 100% my favorite, and I felt like it was kind of meant to be the favorite for most people. It had a lot of elements that I liked, including, if you noticed, three of the victims were wearing masks. Now, those same masks from Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. It's just a pretty cool little tribute. I don't know about you guys, but I love little Easter eggs and stuff like that. Even though I nearly miss them half the time, I just kind of like it, I kind of like it when Stephen King makes a little cameo, as he does in many of his films. Just makes you sit up and point at the screen and say, "Hey, I recognize that." And immediately you like the movie that much more. It's movie science, technical stuff you wouldn't understand. Oh, lots of good kill scenes in this film, though. Not only does this film star, of course, Jamie Lee Curtis, my favorite Scream Queen herself. Will Patton also returns to the franchise, even though I assumed after the first one that he'd been killed by Michael Myers' old doctor. You remember that guy, whom was kind of obsessed with Michael Myers in a weird way, not healthy. I guess Will Patton could take a beating and keep on ticking, I talked a little bit about not only Jamie Lee Curtis in one of my other Halloween film reviews, but I also chat a little bit more about Andy Matichuk, whom also plays Allison Nelson in my Halloween Ends review. For those that are interested, I want to talk a little bit about Anthony Michael Hall, Mr. Evil Dies Tonight, himself. Anthony plays Tommy Doyle, a pretty bad baseball wielding mofo, who leads the angry mob against Michael Myers. I guess Tommy Doyle was the kid Laurie Strode was babysitting for in the original 1978 Halloween film. If you're wondering, who is this guy? That's who he is. He's the little kid. He grew up, I guess, to be Tommy Doyle. I did a review of the original Halloween film as well, if you have time to check that out. If not, whatever. Tommy Doyle almost makes it out of this film alive. I really thought he was going for it. I know I'm spoiling it for you a little bit, but I didn't say how he dies. P.S. You didn't hear this from me, but he's stabbed to death, then gets his brains beaten in with a bat, and then the broken bat is stabbed into his chest. Oh, oops, was that a spoiler? My bad. My bee, dog, my bee. I will say this, you don't go looking for Michael Myers. I don't care what kind of angry mob you think you have backing you up, and you definitely don't go after him armed with a mere baseball bat. Maybe a bazooka would be a better idea, but even then you may not be safe, at least in this film. Michael Myers was the unstoppable killing machine that all of us fans were looking for. Old CD was loving it. Good job, guys. Good job on this film. Speaking of Anthony Michael Hall, I'm not done with him yet, whom I really like in this film, but when I think of him, I can't help but think of his much younger self in the film 16 Candles and The Breakfast Club. I guess he's tried to break away from that persona as a geek or a nerdo. Do people still say nerdo anymore? I think he definitely is a legit actor, that's for sure, and he can step in for lots of roles, but his younger self, it does crack me up a little bit. You have to laugh. Another actress who plays a huge role in this film is Judy Greer, who played Karen Nelson, who was Allison Nelson's mom and Laurie Strode's daughter. It's never good to be related to Laurie Strode in a Halloween film. Yikes. This film is no different, as old Karen Nelson is one that almost makes it out alive. Oh, she almost got to the finish line. Sorry, I'm not sorry for the spoilers. If you haven't seen it by now, then shame on you anyway. Shame on you. The ending was great, and I really liked this film. I don't have a lot of negative thoughts on it, to be honest. And it had the perfect amount of Michael Myers in it. Not too much to send it into the realm of cheesiness, as they often do with these monster movies, but enough to give us plenty of this rock star monster villain, Michael Myers. You have got to see this film if you haven't already. One of my favorite Halloweens, if not my absolute favorite. It just seemed to have all the elements I look for in my Halloween films. I would, however, like to thank you for joining me here on this episode of the CD Racoola Show. And if you could, please like, share, and subscribe to the show so I can, like Michael Myers' victims, keep cutting horror film and other media to pieces for your pleasure. Please feel free to join me next episode when I review the film Halloween Ends. We get to hang out with old Mikey Myers one more time. Oh, goody! Till next time, just remember, when you see someone looking out of a window, it very well may be that they're looking at their own reflection in the glass, peering into their very souls, searching for an answer to their evil little ways. Me personally, I tend to put aluminum foil on my windows. Helps keep the sun out. And no, I don't care if that makes me look trashy. I'd rather not burst into a black ball of goo, thank you very much. Anyway, till next time, bye-bye, all you little YouTube landers out there. Bye-bye.